could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Happiness, you know, it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
It's not about the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got, all that I need, I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I?
Hello, everyone. It is October the 8th, and it is still Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So, real men wear pink, so make sure, men, you're supporting your women. You know, save the tatas, so wear your pink. You know, you don't have to wear it every day if you don't want to. Wear a pink tie and a little, pocket square, but, men look hot in pink. I'm just saying. I saw a couple men rocking the pink, and yeah, they were looking pretty good. So today we have a full show. As you can tell, I have Miss Denise Camacho in the studio. We're going to talk about the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity Convention that's coming up this weekend. Woohoo!
Yay, I'm so excited.
And on the phone, I have Miss Melanie, who is the owner of Sweet Thing Black Orchid Bakery in Waldorf, Maryland. Are you there, Melanie? Hi. Good. You're here. So she couldn't be in the studio today because she is making them cupcakes, people. And let me tell you, when her cupcakes is like a different experience. It is an experience when you eat one of these cupcakes, because I'm telling you, she's the one that made the cupcakes that I had at my book launch. And when I tell you that these cupcakes almost nearly started a riot at the food table, these people were just being overly let's just say generous in the way that they were promoting these cupcakes. So
they were really good.
Oh my gosh, they were so good. And we're not even going to talk about the Neapolitan cupcake that she makes, people. Okay, don't come between me and a Neapolitan cupcake. That's all I'm gonna say. You might lose a finger. So Melanie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me very well?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so we started this business probably about 17 years ago. I formerly, believe it or not, was in a retail. I was assistant buyer for Hex and Strawbridges, if anybody can remember that company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so when I was doing that, I was kind of moonlighting. Nobody knew it. I was moonlighting making cakes and event planning. And, of course, when they went out of business, I had an option either to move with the company or to continue on with what I was doing. So, of course, I chose the creative side and went on to make cakes and fabulous floral arrangements and event planning. And here I am today with our first shop that's only about a year and a half old.
And Eric, I have some pictures of her shop. When I tell you that when you walk into her shop, it is like you're walking into your own fashion boutique almost, because the thing that caught my eye the most was that the way you have the shop set up was just like amazing. It literally is amazing. Now, did you do all the decorating yourself?
I did. We wanted the shop to be a place that when you come in, you never want to leave. So it's literally split in half. The left-hand side represents the sweet thing part of our company, which is funny, fun, kind of like Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm.
And then the right-hand side is a little bit more sophisticated. That's Black Orchid. That's the floral shop, and that's a little bit more elegant, Parisian.
How
Just
pretty.
a little bit more grown-up.
And when you say that you create a space where you never want to leave, I actually really didn't want to walk out of there when I was in there the first time, because it really is when you walk in, the left-hand side of the store makes you feel like a kid. I mean,
Right.
I'm 48 years old, and I found myself looking at everything like I was that little girl that ate the purple gumball in the Willy Wonka when she was like, I want the golden goose, Daddy. You know,
Veruca Salt.
yes, I felt like her. I was like, I wanted everything in the store. It was like, you know how your parents say, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing. I felt like I needed to tell my own self that when I was walking in the store, because I was like touching everything, putting my hand all on the counter, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. Oh my God, that's so cute. And then I look at the right hand side, and then I had to get my diva on, because you can't walk on the right hand side of the store and act like a kid. You got to be kind of bougie,
Grown and sexy.
grown and sexy. That is exact. See, the right hand side of your store is what I would call grown and sexy. It is a grown and sexy environment on the right hand side. It's colorful and playful on the left, and grown and sexy on the right, and you meet in the middle. I mean, you have the perfect setup. So how did you come up with the concept? Did you always know that that's how you wanted it, that you wanted to divide the space like that?
No, it's completely a greedy endeavor. I was at a meeting, waiting for a meeting in New York City one day, and I saw this company, and they had two totally different concepts together, and I thought, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And so I walked across the street. I walked in, and on the left-hand side, it was bread. It was a bakery. It smelled like heaven. And on the right-hand side, it was a fine chocolatier. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. I love this. And I knew at that moment, if I ever had the time to do the opportunity to do things that I wanted to do, I was going to do something just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the sweet thing side is all of the things that I love to eat.
Uh-huh.
All of the creative things that I like to make.
Okay.
And the Black Orchid side are the beautiful floral arrangements and the event decorating things. So it's just all about me. It's everything that I love, and I'm bringing it to our clients, and I'm bringing it to our staff, and anyone's invited to come in and take a look and see.
And you know what? Now I understand the name. I didn't understand the name at first, but now you explained it, because the left side is Sweet Thing and the right side is Black Orchid. I get it now. Oh my God. I feel so silly now, because I just thought it was one word. I was like, oh, okay, that's a little different. But hey, it's her business. She can do what she wants. But now I understand. And now the color scheme that you chose for the right-hand side of the store, are those the colors that you like, or was that just what you envisioned it to be?
Well, we wanted it to be bright and energetic and fun and youthful. And those were the colors that we find fit that mode. And then they were also the colors too that it tended at that particular moment in time when I was coming up with the whole plan, were very popular. They were very fashionable in the event industry, and they're kind of timeless colors, I think.
Yes, and they really are. So how long did it take you to open your business once you decided that this was what you wanted to do? How long did it take you, one, to find the space, and two, to recreate all of that?
Forever. I probably physically designed the shop, and this is going to sound sick, but it's just the result of my maniac. I designed the shop in 1 week. I literally sat down every single night when I got home from my day job, and I was designing through the night. I'd be up until 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning designing.
Wow.
Can you come and design my house now?
I know,
really
right?
like that.
I feel like, are you, charging out your services? I mean, because I am surprised. Like her counter, the counter that she has is that like a dresser, like an arm?
It's a rescue dresser. I found it at
beautiful.
One of the old vintage shops. We cleaned it up. We put it up on feet. We changed every part of it. And so now we have kind of like this French Parisian black and gilded gold register stand, basically.
Now, did you do that? You painted it and all yourself?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
So once you decide, how did you decide that you wanted it to be? Because her shop, for everyone listening, is in Charles County. How did you decide on that location?
Well, actually, we weren't going to go there originally. We have a lot of hotel accounts in Washington, D.C., And so we were going to go there. But when we started looking at what we were up against, the market is already saturated. There were cupcake stores and floral shops and event planners on every single corner in Washington, D.C. And I thought, okay, been there, done that. So the next best thing, we thought about Old Town. And I came across a young lady named Christina Davies, and she's the sales director out here in this area. And she said, Mel, you got to come and just look at this spot. And I said, Waldorf. I live in Waldorf, but I don't want to put the shop there. But she had the foresight. She was brilliant. And we never looked back. It's probably one of the best decisions that we've ever made so far.
Wow. Now, are you thinking about opening up a second location?
We so are. We're probably not slated to do that until 2017, but we're also thinking about opening an event room because there's no cool places around here to go and have a real swank event.
That's
so
very
about
true.
That too. Yeah.
You
That's
are
very
exactly
true.
right. Yes. And the reason why I'm asking is because right there in Waldorf they have the Winchester Pavilions, right where I had my book launch, and it is like the perfect place. I always said if I knew how to bake, I'd open up a bakery, but I just don't know how to bake. I can cook. I can make some mean lasagna homemade from scratch. I can't bake a lick. If you want some cookies or brownies, you always gonna see me in there because I ain't baking nothing. I'm mixing no dough. I'm not doing none of that. So my kids always knew. The running joke was, well, Mom, we supposed to bring cookies, but can you go to Safeway and get us some? Because it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening in my kitchen. So I thank you that now I have a place I can come to get some cupcakes, because sometimes I just want a cupcake. Like every time I come in there, and I'm on this special soft foods diet, and that's not really a joke. That really is true. But because people say, "Oh, really? You're on soft food, but you're eating a cupcake?" I'm like, "Yeah, because that's a soft food, and I can have that." So just know that I will always be in there when I have to, only eat soft foods, just as long as you keep those cupcakes coming. I'm just saying.
You got.
So now, I know you make cakes. And I saw this cake online today. It got a Mercedes key, and I was like, I need that for my next birthday.
In baby blue.
In royal blue for
Royal
Dallas
blue.
Cowboys. So I'm gonna need a star, the Mercedes key, and all that. I am so DC, Dallas Cowboys. So just so I know, okay.
I'll
Just
write it down now.
there you go. And because I am so DC, and we having such a great year, people. Just a moment of silence for the Redskins fans. Okay, that's enough of that. So, have you ever, do you make pies as well?
We do. As a matter of fact, we're going to start making pies the 1st of November. We do that during the harvest kind of holiday season. So we make personal pies, and then we make the big 9-inch pies that you can take home and have with the family, or you can keep them to yourself. Absolutely.
Okay, so how big, a personal pie, that's just for one?
A person, right. It's there's enough for two, but nobody ever wants to share.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, I'm going to need a pumpkin pie. Just a personal pie, though. I don't want to share nothing. Now, I could probably get the big pie, but then somebody's going to want something. So if you just make me the personal one, I won't have to share that.
We have it in an amazing container that's very easy to hide under the bed. No worries.
So up my alley, people. Ding. So there's a winner. Now, the reason why you're on the show today is because we have the president of Intrigue Publishing, and you have graciously offered to sponsor some cupcakes for the hospitality room at the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity Conference.
And we are so happy about that. Thank you so much.
It's such our pleasure. We're very happy to do it for you.
And is there any, during the month, October, November, December, I know talking to you, you said you do some, charitable events. So can you tell us some of the events that you actually do during those months?
We do. Before we actually opened the store, we were doing a lot of cupcakes. In fact, at one point, we did 2,000 cupcakes for breast cancer awareness for one of the young ladies that attends my church. She was doing a walk to raise money. So breast cancer is always first and foremost in our mind in October. But since we actually moved into the shop now, we have a lot of the local organizations here in our own community that are coming to us and asking us for money for their various causes. St. James Episcopal Church is doing a bazaar and various things like that, and we're extremely excited to be able to actually give back to our community and helping each one of them that come in with whatever they need. So it's exciting to now give back to home.
And that is wonderful. I mean, like I said, saw the shop, and I had always been meaning to stop in, and then just one day I came in, and it was actually right as I was starting my show, and it was like, wow, I literally ate the cupcake on my way to the show, and I think I came and I think I had icing on my face, and it was just looking a little inappropriate, but it was like, I couldn't help myself. Like, you gave me a fork in the bag, and I didn't even bother to use the fork. It was like I was eating it out the little container. Like, I had the container open, and every time I stopped at a light, I was like, like a little kid. Like, I just couldn't get enough of it. And I remember I had the wedding cake cupcake, which tastes just like wedding cake, only not dry. I mean,
that's my favorite. That's an amazing one.
Because, sometimes you go to a wedding and, they spend all this money on a cake, and then the cake is dry, and you thinking, you got any milk?
I think that's why they had the liquor.
I think so, because you don't really know. Now, she has a rum cake.
Oh, no.
Cupcake.
Really?
Yeah, soaked in dark Jamaican rum. It's delicious.
Okay, I may have to stop by on my way home tonight. I'm
just saying, this is the face I make after having that cupcake. What? That's the face I make, because it was like, it's gone already. Like, I think I inhaled the entire thing. I don't even think I swallowed it. I think I literally just inhaled it, because when it was gone, I'm like, did I actually finish that? And I was actually looking around the car thinking, where's that cupcake at? Like, because I refuse to believe that I ate the cupcake. I mean, I'm the only one in the car, so, not me. I didn't do it. So tell us about where you are. I know you're on Pinterest and you're on Twitter.
We are. We're first. You can of course find our website. It's a little bit long, but it's so worth getting to. It's sweetthingblackorchid.com, and that it's a picture-rich website. So it's just got pictures of our flowers, our confections, all of the fun cakes, and of course you can find us on our Facebook page, which is Sweet Thing Black Orchid on Facebook. On Twitter, we're Sweet Tea Black O. We're on Pinterest, but I kind of stink at that, so I'm getting better. So you'll find us there soon. and of course, we're also into Tumblr as well. So I think that's everything.
Okay, well, I thank you so much for taking a time out of your busy schedule. I know you're so busy, because one day I was in the store, I was the only one. By the time I left, it was like 20 people in there, and I'm like, what? Now, aren't you people supposed to be at work? How you gonna be in here trying to get my cupcakes? Because the one woman was buying the red velvet. I'm just gonna let you know it was almost a fight, because I think I could take her. I think I could. And she was just standing there. She just yipping along, and she grabbing up the cup. And I'm thinking, really, lady? You don't need those. You don't want those. You really don't. But, I let her have them. I just went on and bought my little 6, and I came on. But, yeah, red velvet is another favorite of mine. So,
and then the red velvet cheesecake. Wow, that's a good one, too.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to end the
I'm
show a little early.
slobbering
I
here.
know, right? I think I'm drooling. That's why I set the computer to the side, because I didn't want to try and make a mess in here. I don't have no tissues, no nothing. I mean, just, if you see me doing that, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. But thank you so much for coming on the show today. I can't wait to pick up the cupcakes. It might be one short before I get them there.
Oh, no. Maybe I'll have to go pick them up instead.
Well, we'll come together, so then that way we can pick out our favorites.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much.
That I've got on my fierce pumps in honor of our interview today. So just so you know.
Yeah, see? So you have to take a shoofy, because, that's my thing. I take shoofies now. So you can take a selfie and then take a shoofy, send it to me, and I can tweet it out that, the divas, the baking diva and the shoe diva come prepared.
That's right.
See? So thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you tomorrow.
Very good. My pleasure. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Take care.
Take care. And so, like I said, this she is so gracious, and she's a sweetie pie. She goes in and one of the pictures, Eric, if you can funnel back through the pictures real quick, and I'll tell you when to stop, because if you go in her shop at the right time, she has the way is on the the slide, on the Sweet Thing slide. If you go in at the right time, because I thought maybe I was looking at a reflection, but I really wasn't, because I knew it wasn't me, because I don't bake. But you can actually see them either decorating the cakes or making the cakes or the cupcakes. And I was like, oh my God, how cute is that? You can bring, the little kids in so that they can see, their cake or whatever being made. And it's like, oh my God, how fantastic. Like I said, this shop is just amazing. So if you are ever in Waldorf, see that window right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That window right beside the bookcase is where they're making all the magic happen,
How
people.
fun.
And the door, you can't even see that that's the door, but on the far left-hand side at the other end of that bookcase, that's the door.
Oh, wow.
Like, how cool is that? So
Very
it's like,
cool.
it is just like this amazing
Beautiful.
place. Sometimes I just go in there and just stand. I think I went in there a couple times and just stood. I ain't really buy nothing first.
I wouldn't want to
And
leave.
I know. It's like you really just don't want to leave. So we're going to take a real quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity convention that is going on this weekend at Hunt Valley Inn. So I want you to just listen to a quick commercial, and we'll be right back.
The Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity Con is the Mid-Atlantic's book lover event of the year. 3 days of workshops, panels, and fun. 36 classes and panels for fans and writers, led by top-selling genre fiction authors. And meet dozens of authors at 2 huge book signings. All meals are included, so come dine with your favorite writers. It's October 10th through the 12th in Hunt Valley, Maryland. Register now at creaturescrimesandcreativity.com.
And we are back, and we want to thank Larry Matthews for that wonderful commercial piece. And like we were saying, that the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity Convention is going on this weekend. See, we are all prepared. You know what this is, people? This is the panel discussions that's going to be going on for 3 days in a row. See, we ain't joking, people. It's 3 pages. No, it's 4 pages. 4 pages. 4 pages. Over 30 panels. And some of these panels are moderated by some local authors, and some are on. Some of the authors are New York Times bestselling. So tell us, what has the last week been like trying to get the conference finalized?
Well, I think I ran out of Valium.
Okay.
And
I been did. I sucked all mine up in the last 2 weeks.
it has been crazy just trying to get all the last minute preparation. You have people sometimes cancel because, life intervenes sometimes, and best planned options kind of go astray. So sometimes people have to cancel, or we've had a lot of last minute registrations, which has been great.
Woohoo!
A
Yay.
lot of fans. Thank you, fans. More fans. We love our fans. We've had a lot of last minute fans registering, so that's been great.
Yeah.
It's just been amazing, and the feedback that we get about the conference has been so great.
So people will start arriving on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it that they can expect on Friday?
So Friday morning around 9 o'clock is when we're going to open up registrations.
We're going to open the doors.
Throw
people.
them open.
We're going to I look like Oprah. We're throwing open the doors, people.
And hopefully we won't hit anybody.
I know, right?
So-
Except we ain't giving away no cars.
No.
We ain't doing that. We just throwing open the doors.
We're not giving away anything.
Well, yes, we are.
Books.
Yes, we are. We're giving away a lot.
We are kind
We
of.
have what?
We have books to give away.
Books.
We have a very nice goodie bag with lots of donations from our sponsors. We thank Jeff Markowitz for donating the goodie bag for us, and that was very sweet of him.
Yes.
So we've had some really good sponsors this year, and they've been doing a great job for us, and we're very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Metro has given away a whole bunch of goodies for us to put in our goodie box.
Thank you, Metro Bus, for being partners, because I met them at Flow Fest, and I just said to the guy that was running the booth, hey, if possible, if you have anything left over, can you give me something? At the end of the thing, he brought over this huge box of bags and water bottles and fare cards and fans, and I was like, what? Yeah, that was the face I was making, because I was like, what? Wow, thank you. And all he said was, just list us as a partner.
Yep.
I'm like, sweet. So yeah, so that's some of the things that they can expect to get. Now, the reason why I am, swallowing Valium at a pretty good clip here is because I'm in charge of the Twitter contest. And let me just tell you, the hashtag that we're using is hashtag MDC3CON, Maryland C3 Con. I have the arduous task of counting all of the tweets. Now, I was going pretty good until the last couple of days, and then all of a sudden, I'm counting 30, 40, 50, 70 tweets every hour, and I'm thinking, Really, people? You didn't
Keep it up, keep it up, keep coming, make her
so
work.
you have until, if you are registered. Now here's the thing, you got to be registered to come to the conference, either Friday only or Saturday only or the full conference. If you are, and you tweet out hashtag MDC3CON, you have a chance to win the Kindle Fire. Now see, here's the thing, people, you got a fighting chance because I'm not tweeting. I can't win now because it would be a lockdown if I could participate. But you know,
What about the intern?
See, the intern could win. Well, could she win? Could the intern
No,
win?
she's a volunteer.
Oh, she's a volunteer. Okay,
Sorry.
sorry, but you get
Sorry,
a cool
intern.
hat. But you get a cool hat.
You get
So-
a cool hat.
I know. See, I know, but her hair is so cute today.
I know.
I mean, isn't it so cute today? She just
She
looks
could just plop
as-
it on top.
I know, she could just lay it on top, like to the side. So the Twitter contest is for a Kindle Fire. And then we also have a scavenger hunt. Mm-hmm. And what are they getting for the scavenger
They're
hunt?
getting an Amazon gift certificate for $50.
See, $50, people, you can go shopping for as many books as you want, or you can gift some books.
That's right.
You know, that gifts, Christmas is coming, so start your shopping early.
This is a great place to start your shopping. I mean, how many people don't want to get a signed, autographed copy of a book for Christmas? With the author's signature, you can even have them write on it. We're going to have a massive book signing on Friday night between 5 and 6, and on Saturday night between 5 and 6. And there's going to be over 40 authors there who are going to be selling and signing their books. And many of them are New York Times bestselling authors like Rebecca York and John Gilstrap. You do not want to miss the signing. I'm telling you, people, it's going to be off the chain.
And the thing about the book signing is they don't have to be registered to come
No.
to that.
It's open to the public. Anybody can come, and it's up in Hunt Valley in the Hunt Valley Inn, and it's an hour, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, and there's going to be a cash bar. Just saying.
Just saying. And, you know, if you have on the right shoes, you don't have to pay for your own drinks. I'm just saying. Why do you think I go
that's
shoe
just
shopping?
you.
Okay. Why do you think I go shoe shopping, people? Let's be clear about this whole thing. And it just a side note here, just if you notice, I don't have my, my Malibu Black. Normally it'd be sitting right here. But what happened was I had to park like 3 blocks down. And by the time I realized that I didn't have it, I was already here, and I was not walking back out to the car. I'm just saying. So I'm not saying that I'm going to be drinking and driving, but I'm just saying it's in the car. That's all I'm going to say. So
But
have
there's no
water.
cupcakes in the
But
car,
But there's no cupcakes, so, what's the use, right?
you could get rum cupcakes and drive.
I could, right? And
You're going to have to ask her to put some of that black rum in the cupcakes and
I know,
see how
right?
that works.
Because we got to see how that works.
I know.
Because if she's using the dark rum, hey, I have an endless supply of black Malibu. I'm just
right.
saying. So tell us what else. Okay, so Friday it starts at 9 o'clock.
Starts at 9 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock, so there'll be registration open from 9 o'clock until noon. And then at noon, we're going to have a little welcoming for everybody and kind of, go over the rules of the conference. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just introduce people and talk about what's going to happen, and then it is on from there.
And so we have a great cast of characters.
We do.
Want to call them. We have the C3 board members, and I think I have a picture of the C3 board members. We have had a wonderful time planning this conference. We all have our own separate roles, and
Sort
there
of.
we are. We are all there, as you can see. I'm on the end, and next to me is
Julie Monroe.
and then there's Miss Denise.
That's me.
And then we have Cindy, who is our registration person. Delia is the panel master. Right below Delia is Ann, and she takes care of all the volunteers, her and Julie. And then there was the one lone man, Austin Camacho, until we had, another guy join us.
I
And
know.
he wasn't in this picture because this was the first year, but we also do have Larry Matthews, who is also a part of our the C3 board. So this year when we take the picture, everybody will be in the picture.
Right.
So, Larry, just know
Hold
that
on. You'll
hold
be
on,
there.
you'll be in the picture. Just make sure you're there on time. I'm just
Do you
saying.
notice how Miss B Swangin there has her swanging out in front there?
Hey, I'm just saying because I'm always be swanging. I always be swanging something. So, and I was looking pretty cute. I had the cute little
I
hairstyle,
know.
short hairstyle. I don't know what we're going to do this year, but, I got to, see, I always have to one up. I got to one up what I did last year. So I got to look at the picture. I got to take the picture with me to the hairstylist and be like, okay, I need to one up this. You got to one up this one. So the opening is on Friday, and we have the book signing starts at 5:00. Open
Books,
to the
yep.
public. You do not have to be registered.
No, you
to
do
come
not.
to the book signing. You can just come, bring your checks, your wallets, and your credit cards.
That's right.
Because we do have a bookstore.
Yes.
That's going to be there.
Yes, we have a bookstore that's going to be there. They are a noble place, and they have been gracious enough to do the bookstore for us, and they ordered all the books, and they're taking care of all the business side of it. And so all we have to do is go there and buy our books and drink our drinks and have a great time.
And okay, so on Saturday, because I'm still going off the whole thing. Oh, and we have buffet dinner, people. Now, I don't know if you realize that if you come to the conference, if you pay for Friday, then you'll get Friday and you get Friday dinner.
Right.
That'll be $130.
Right.
And you get all the panels and you get your meal. If you pay for Saturday only, which is
It's $130.
$130.
One day only is $130.
Okay, so what do they get if they pay for Saturday only?
Saturday is 3 meals, actually. So you have all the panels, and you have the 3 meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, buffet dinner. And at each, at breakfast on Saturday and at dinner on Saturday, and I think, is Brad speaking at lunch on Saturday?
Lunch for Brad is being interviewed at lunch on Saturday.
Okay, so on Saturday lunch, Brad Parks is being interviewed, and he is hysterical.
Remember, people, I had Brad on right after Thriller Fest. He was the one that got up and ate the shrimp and went to the next table, and he said he was going to bring me some shrimp to the C3 conference. Brad, if you're listening, I'm waiting. I'm going to have my brown paper. I told you I was going to bring the brown paper. I'm going to sit it on the table and let the shrimp fall where they may.
That will be funny.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
So Friday night at the buffet, we have Rebecca York, who's going to be the keynote, and she's phenomenal. She is a New York Times best-selling author. She has won so many awards. She has like 150 books out. She's a suspense thriller writer, romantic suspense, and paranormal, and she's just amazing. And then Saturday night, we have John Gilstrap, who is going to be the keynote, and he is just a character. I just love John. And I'll tell you what, the other reason that you don't want to miss Saturday is because I'm going to be moderating the spouses panel, and we're going to get to hear John's wife talk about John and Rebecca's husband talk about Rebecca. And B.K. Stevens' husband, Dennis, is going to be talking to us about them. So you're going to get the inside story on what happens behind the scenes with some of these authors.
Mm-hmm. And see, Joy might have a lot of stories because as we speak, Joy and John, maybe I shouldn't say that, but they are celebrating their anniversary.
Yes.
And they are on an amazing trip. I can't wait to even hear. I'm sure he's going to tell us about the trip, so I just can't wait to hear all about the trip. But his wife, Joy, is such a phenomenal woman.
She is so much fun.
She is sweet, she is kind, and very gracious.
Yeah.
Her and her husband, John, are like the biggest supporters of the C3 conference.
They really are. They have been such good supporters of ours from the very beginning, and I just love and respect them so much. And so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And I'm sure Joy is going to have lots of stories to tell. So, and Rebecca York's husband is just as entertaining, and he is going to have a lot of fun stuff to tell us too, I'm sure. I've met him before, and he is just a really nice guy, and I just can't wait to get them up on stage and start talking to them about all the dirt that goes on behind the scenes. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
So now, when people come to this conference, what should they bring? Should they bring anything with them?
Money. You should bring money to buy books because we want you to buy books. There's just going to be so many books. But other than that, just bring, your imagination and your drive to want to hear more about writing and the authors. And if you're fans, there's going to be a lot of panels for fans. There's going to be a lot of interesting panels where the authors are talking about, what their characters are doing and how they've been developing their characters and things like that. And there's going to be great Q&As for the fans to be able to sit and talk with the authors. And I just can't imagine a better time for a fan than to be able to come and have dinner with one of their favorite authors and just sit and talk. And I got to tell you, these authors, they are happy to sit and talk with their fans. They are so gracious and they are so nice. And they're not snobby or anything like that. You know, they're just fun to hang out with.
Right, and see, that's one of the things why people do love the C3 conference, because we don't, like some conferences, they sit there, you know, well-known authors in the front of the room, and you can only go up and take a picture. But here, they sit them at any table.
Right.
They go in. You know, the dinner, they sit. They do, there's not assigned seating.
Right.
So whoever wants to sit by them sits by them. Gets pictures, gets selfies, and there's a meet and greet or a networking event in the bar, which there's, you don't have to drink to go and enjoy just hanging out at the bar. So can you tell us, because I don't think I asked you this the last time, how did the name Creatures, Crime, and Creativity come about?
Well, that's a really good question. There was a bookstore in Virginia that went under, and it wasn't called the Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity. It was Creatures, Crimes, and something else. But it kind of was a derivative of that. And because we had kind of the Creatures, Crimes that we had already, and we knew that that's what we kind of wanted to base it off. So, you know, Creatures is everything under the sun, from vampires to werewolves to, you know, aliens and everything like that. In genre fiction, because it's only genre fiction that we do. We don't do any nonfiction at this conference. But then the creativity part was more, you know, for the fans, you have the Creatures and the Crimes and those kinds of authors, and you get to see those. But the creativity part is kind of for the author's side, for the authors to kind of learn from other authors how to do their business and how to get better at writing. So we kind of mixed the three together, and, you know, it was C3, so it just kind of came out of that.
Okay. So would you say that this conference, even though, you know, you have a lot of authors, would it be good for a person that's writing, in the process of writing? Do you suggest that they come to this conference?
Oh, absolutely.
What would they get if they came out to this conference?
Well, you know, I was talking to a young lady a couple weeks ago at a conference, and she asked me pretty much the same question. She hasn't written a book yet, but she wants to write. And I told her, I said, you know, I've been doing this, and I've been in this industry for many years now. And one of the things that I, as a professional in the industry, get out of it is it makes me want to do more. It makes me want to, you know, it's like gets the juices flowing. You know, for me as a publisher, it makes me want to create more works for people to read. And as a writer, what I hear from people is it gets their writing juices flowing. It makes them, you know, and get questions answered about how to write things, and how for a particular genre, say if you're doing mystery or if you're doing paranormal and you're talking to other authors who are successful doing that, it teaches you how to do it in a better way for mainstream, you know. So there's so many things that someone who hasn't even written a word on a piece of paper can learn from this kind of a conference.
So see, it's not only for published authors. So for those of you that have heard me talk about it, and a lot of people I've been getting Facebook messages about, oh my God, I heard the show today and you were talking about the conference. You can come. You can come. You know, it is not too late. If you don't want to come for the entire, you know, weekend, because it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, come for Saturday, because Saturday there will be a lot going on. I think we have 3 or 4 master classes on Saturday?
We do. We have 3 master classes. John Gilstrap, Rebecca York, and Brad Parks are all doing master classes on Saturday. CJ Ellison is doing her master class on Sunday after her Q&A Sunday morning. And you don't want to miss these master classes. When we say master classes, we really mean it. These people are masters at what they do, and they are going to teach you how to do what they do exceptionally well. You will get some of the best tips on writing these genre that you could ever get. These people really are at the top of their game, and they are going to give you all their tips on how to write and be good at what they're writing.
And so, and again, it's not too late to sign up. All you have to do is go to creaturescrimesandcreativity.com. Yes, we know that's a long name, but it's all one word. Creatures, Crimes, and A&D, not the ampersand. A&D creativity.com. So it all of it is on Saturday, and then on Sunday, that's the last day of the event. So what can people expect on Sunday? Because a lot of people, if there's a conference, most people say, "Oh, it's Sunday, the conference over, I'm ready to go home." So why should we stay for Sunday?
Well, there's going to be a lot going on Sunday as well. C.J. Ellison is going to be speaking on Facebook, how to be a better author on Facebook, how to get your name out there, how to be, how to market yourself on Facebook. And any author who is worth their salt really wants to hear this, because she's really doing it and doing it well. If you want to know how to market yourself on Facebook, she's the one who's going to teach you how. And it's going to be a really great masterclass that she does. She's also going to do a Q&A, and we're going to end the conference with some sex.
See, hump day is not the only day you can have sex, people. You can have it on Sunday morning too. Now, see, because we're giving this whole hump day thing a whole new meaning, because the whole hump day here at WLVS is the most fun you can have with your clothes on, people.
That's right.
I'm just saying, because we try to cross promote other shows. So Kay Lowry Moore comes on at 9:00, and Sanji and Mutari come on at 10. So with the three of us have teamed up, and at this conference, I know that there are different the panels don't just have people that write that genre on that panel.
Right.
So why is it that you didn't want, if you go to a conference, you have all mystery people on one panel. So what was the idea behind mixing up the genre?
Well, I think if you're a fan and you have, you could just sit there and listen to one author and they could reel on about what they're doing and how they're doing it. And that's just not as exciting, I think, as having, a bunch of fans in the audience. And they're going to, if you have, more than one fan in an audience, they're probably going to have more than one most people don't just read one kind of book. So it's nice to have panels where you have different fans or different authors of different genre, and they can talk about, how something works for them, whereas in a different genre it might work differently for somebody else. Mm-hmm. So having the different authors there and having them kind of talking with each other and engaging with the audience, we have found this to be a really good formula for us in the past. So it can get really riotous really fast.
Have you thought about, because I'm sure there's going to be a C3, like a third C. I don't even know how you would say it at that point, because it's like, what, C3 or
C3 cubed?
C3 cubed or C3 tray? I don't really know.
C3.
C3. Third C. I don't know. So I know that you're going to. So have you thought about possibly having other genres involved? Because right now it's mystery and paranormal, sci-fi, thriller.
We pretty much have covered most of the genre. The only genre that isn't really, really well represented is probably romance. Mm-hmm. And that's just because there's so many romance conferences, and there's a whole network of romance conferences. It's not that we don't want romance writers there. We do. We want anybody who writes genre fiction there. Steampunk, we really want to have as many people there as we can that write genre fiction. So, we're absolutely open to any genre fiction author.
And I'm glad you mentioned romance, because a lot of romance writers was like, well, I can't come to that conference because it's nothing for me. But that's not true, because we actually do have a romantic suspense panel. Yeah. So if you are writing romance, this is not a romance convention like RT.
No.
But it is you're going to learn how to write romantic suspense, right, or romantic dramas, right, or romantic crime mysteries.
Or just writing anything. This is not just for writers too, but let me just say, if you are a romance author and you don't want to sell your books, don't come to our conference, because our conference has fans. And our conference, the fans want to buy books. So if you're a romance author and you want to sell books, you best be coming to our conference to sell some books, because we are all about selling books.
And see, and that's the other thing, because when you do these, when you do the mass book signings, it's everyone there. So it's not like, only the New York Times bestsellers are doing a book signing.
No, everybody there who has their books there are going to be there to sell their books and sign their books. And again, what better way to get some Christmas gifts now, birthday gifts or whatever you have, than to get an autographed signed copy by some of these authors. And they're really good authors. I mean, I can't tell you, some of these authors are just amazing, and I'm really happy that they have signed up to be there.
And now, okay, so I know we cover a lot of genre, but is it this new adult genre that's coming out? So that's well represented at this conference as well as cozy mysteries. Now, Malice Domestic happens right here.
Right.
Malice Domestic authors should be coming to this conference as well.
Absolutely.
Because we have cozy mysteries, which cozy mysteries is you don't see the murder happen, but a murder does happen. You just don't see all the blood and the guts and the glory and all that, but you just find the body. So the dog will find the body. So those fans are welcome as well. Because
Absolutely.
See, sometimes people get into this narrow-mindedness of, well, I write cozy mysteries. I only write romance. I can't go to these other conferences, and that's going to be a whole nother show that I'm going to do about how you're limiting yourself. But I think this year alone, this is just the second year for this conference.
Right.
And are you surprised at the success that the conference is having?
I honestly am. I kind of thought in the beginning that we were going to get, our 10 best friends to come and show up at the conference, but our conference this year has nearly doubled in the attendance, and I'm just so thrilled about that. And it's going to get bigger every year. And speaking of bigger every year, next year,
Dun, da, da, dun.
Dun, da, da, dun.
Well, you know what? So
The big announcement.
we're going to take another commercial break. I want to tell you, let the commercial roll for the conference, and when we come back, she's going to tell you what's going to happen at this conference next year.
The Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity Con is the Mid-Atlantic's book lover event of the year. 3 days of workshops, panels, and fun. 36 classes and panels for fans and writers, led by top-selling genre fiction authors. And meet dozens of authors at 2 huge book signings. All meals are included, so come dine with your favorite writers. It's October 10th through the 12th in Hunt Valley, Maryland. Register now at creaturescrimesandcreativity.com.
So we're back, and like you just heard, that it is not too late to sign up for the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity Conference. If you are a fan and you want to meet some authors and you have a smartphone that you can take some pictures with, you need to register for this conference, because we will be taking selfies, we will be taking ussies, we will be taking shoofies. We are going to be fierce, honey. You want to come just to see my shoes. I'm just going to put it out there. So you all want to come because you see the shoe cam every Wednesday. Why not see the shoes up close and personal? Because let me tell you, the shoes that I'm going to wear this weekend, because it's going to be a little cold, I might have to break out a new pair of boots. I'm just saying. So,
you got some thigh highs?
I think, ooh, honey. The look I'm going to have when I put on my boots. Okay, that's the look you're going to get. So make sure you have your smartphone ready, okay? Because you're going to need to tweet that out. Tweet out, B Swangin is rocking the boots, honey. Okay, so what is the big announcement for next year? Now, see, I already know the announcement, people, so you might need to be paying attention, because if you don't make this year's Creatures, Crime, and Creativity,
which it's just a crying shame if you don't.
It is a crying shame. Don't let me find a dead body. Remember, cozies, I don't kill the body. I just find the body, people. Okay, so who's going to be there for next year?
So next year, we are so pleased that we are going to be having the international best-selling author Heather Graham, and we are also going to be having the New York Times best-selling author F. Paul Wilson. So far, those are our 2 big names that we're going to have as our keynotes. And I got to tell you, both of them are just so amazing. Heather has been selling books forever, and she is one of the best-known suspense thriller writers, and I just can't wait. I love her to death. I love her books.
And gracious. I mean, you
Oh,
saw
she
her
is.
at a conference in Chicago, correct?
Right. I saw her at the Love is Murder conference in Chicago last year, and I, simply went up to her. And what was really phenomenal is that I had met her several years before that at BoucherCon, and she actually remembered. And she's like, "Oh, I knew I'd met you before somewhere," and I was totally flabbergasted. I couldn't believe she had remembered having met me. But I, had a short conversation with her, asked her about it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, just let me know what date it is, and if I'm free, I'll be there." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So I am so thrilled.
And you know
So
what?
thrilled.
And that is what Cyrus Webb said to us a couple weeks ago on the show, that all you have to do is ask, because
Yep.
all they can do is say is no. So again, if you have time this weekend, if you are not doing anything, if you are a want to be author, if you are writing a story, because everybody got a story to tell, everybody think they can be a writer. Well, if you want to be a writer, you need to come up to Hunt Valley. It is just under maybe an hour away from DC. You come for the weekend, or you come for Friday, or you come for Saturday, but it is a conference that you really want to be at, because let me tell you something, people. Next Wednesday, when I come back, I'm gonna have pictures. First, I'm gonna have pictures of the shoes. Now, you already know I'm gonna have pictures of the shoes, right? You already know that, right? Okay.
Okay, but no bar pictures, okay? I don't think we
Okay,
don't
no
wanna
bar.
take
Okay,
bar
I'm
pictures.
okay. I'm gonna try to sneak some bar pictures in, people. Just just close your eyes and act like you don't see who the people are. Because I'm just gonna say, you might see me having 1, 2, or 3 drinks in my hand. It just depends on how good the shoes are looking. Okay. So next week when you come back, hopefully I have a couple of authors from the conference here, and I'm gonna have plenty of pictures, and I know I'm gonna have plenty of stories to tell. Okay. Now, I cannot believe that it is 4:52 already, people, and I had said that I'm going in on time, but I just have to get up on my soapbox for 1 minute. Now, it ain't going to be about nobody screaming child in the barbershop. It ain't going to be about nobody screaming child in the beauty salon. It's going to be about a pack of lifesavers. Now, I know, lifesavers, yeah? Okay. What happened was, this morning I went to the store and bought a pack of lifesavers, right? You remember the little white lifesavers, the mint or whatever they call, spearmint, whatever. I went in there, bought a pack of lifesavers. They were 79 cents. That blew me away, because I'm like, when did lifesavers become 79 cents? Not quite sure I want to pay 79 cents, but I just decided I wanted lifesavers. I get the lifesavers. I take them, I sit them up on my desk, and just decided, I think I want a lifesaver, because I was, coughing a little bit, and I figured I'd pop them in my mouth. I open up the lifesavers. When did lifesavers become the size of dimes? I'm not quite sure I understand that, because I thought they were about the size of a nickel. Now, a nickel and a dime are 2 different sizes, people, and I know that a lifesaver was almost the size, if not a little bit bigger, than a nickel. And
That's
when
right.
I opened up that pack and got like a dime-sized lifesaver, I'm like, what kind of life is this saving? This ain't saving nothing. What? I used to suck on a lifesaver for like 10 minutes before I even chewed. I sucked on that joker for 1 minute and it was gone. I'm like, what?
Wow.
What just happened? What just happened right now? I'm trying to understand, how did this lifesaver dissolve so quickly?
Inflation.
Okay, now you're going to charge me 79 cents, but then I only get a dime. See, here's my rule, and I am horrible with math, people. If I'm going to pay 79 cents, give me the nickel size lifesaver. If you going to give me a dime size, charge me about 45 cents.
That's right.
I'm sorry, because then I had to chew on another one. I practically ate the whole pack in like 20 minutes. In the old days, and yes, I'm going to say the old days, people. In the old days, one lifesaver would last you half the day. Mm-hmm. Half the day. You're sucking on the same one. You'd be like, oh, what is that? Oh, is that still a lifesaver? When I tell you that thing was gone in 2 minutes, I was distraught. This is the look I had on my face when I chewed up that lifesaver. What? Really? So, lifesaver people, I have taken notice. You will not get 79 cents out of me anymore. Never again. Until they come back to the nickel size. So, on that note, people, I'm stepping down from my soapbox with this little tiny piece of lifesaver. Okay? Not happy. But until next week, I hope to see a lot of you at the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity Conference. And until then, I am living a beautiful life, people. For Mrs. Denise Camacho from Intrigue Publishing, from my lovely intern who walked across the street from her classes from HU. She was here in the building today. I will see you next week, because remember, we be swangin'.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day